Folkestone, post-war recovery and reconstruction. The town was never to be the same again. Although many of the occupants arrived back, they found their houses ruined, often beyond repair. Most shops were without glass fronts or were shuttered with black canvas frames. Hotels could not function until renovated after military occupation. In order for the town to function as a holiday resort, all military defences needed to be removed. This included concrete blocks, the removal of all gun sites which needed to be dismantled, and the beaches cleared of mines, tank traps, barbed wire and iron scaffolding. However, the council, working with the residents, were determined to rebuild the town, and their proud boast was that Folkestone was the first of the fortified resorts to clear its defence work. By 1946, just over half the hotels and boarding houses were brought back into use, and in 1947 the town was able to receive a number of summer conferences. In 1949, the 51st Annual Conference of the National Chamber of Commerce was held at the Leas, with a record number of 700 delegates attending. However, the east of the town from the harbour to Dover Road and Canterbury Road were the worst affected. 550 dwellings were destroyed and 10,000 properties extensively damaged. Therefore, providing housing was an immediate priority that was going to take well into the 50s to solve. By 1951, the council recorded in its minutes that 1,190 families had been rehoused since 1945, but there were still 1,169 families on the waiting list. The council uses an opportunity for social cleansing, as evidenced by the comments made in their decision to pull down St Michael's Church, which had stood as a Dover Road landmark since 1853. Although derelict since 1940 due to war damage, a decision was made for total demolition, partly because it was near two churches, St Saviour's and St Peter's, but also because of the council minutes recorded that the population of Folkestone, as of other towns, is moving outwards, and the town's replanning scheme is not likely to increase the population in this area. Not surprisingly, therefore, a lot of post-war housing, homes fit for heroes, was centred on Creepway Downs and other areas at the back of the town. Despite this, Dover Road at the end of the war did preoccupy the corporation, and it must have been like a building site in the early 1950s. Next door, 125 Dover Road was a building contractor, as was the opposite side of the road at number 126, which was Court and Company. Also, Cupola House, that fine Victorian villa, was rebuilt as a base for Hall and Company building contractors. Most major schemes were social housing, or council houses as we call them today. The town clerk reported in the 1950 housing programme that 150 houses would be constructed. Of these, only 25 were licensed to private persons. One of the largest in Dover Road was a plan for houses in the bombed-out site of Folly Road and Dover Road, christened the Rosendale Estate by the council in April 1949. This included 24 three-storey flats to be called Rosendale Court. Plans for which were approved, with the architect plans put on display at the Gas Board showroom, Sandgate Road, December 1949. Construction began March 13th, 1950. Then October 1950, tenders for gas boilers. Residents finally moved in March 1951, and further plans for old age houses planned on that part of Folly Road, which was renamed Rossendale Road. Dover Road rises again. By 1956, things had moved on, and the community had once again become settled, and with it a close-knit community re-emerged. This feeling was summed up by Mr. R. Usher at the third annual supper and social of the Dover Road Traders Association. In front of a gathering of over 70 people, including Deputy Mayor Elsie Aldridge, he announced, "We have abolished the title Dover Road Association, for the name everyone talks about is our village, which is exactly what we are. The association can credit for general improvements in our area, although some credit is due to the corporation, including the Parks Department, making some attractive parts in our village." 1956, concluded Mr. Usher, the well-known florist. Most Dover Road traders could look back on a good year, and perhaps a prosperous one, based on hard work. End of 1950s. Please find the next and last audio, Dover Road in 1960s and beyond.